All right, we are now on page 9, and we're going to cover 9 and 10 of the 1 to 4 family residential contract. Okay, we're down to the broker information, and don't neglect paying attention to the accuracy of this information. The other broker firm and license number and all the associate's name and email address and license supervisor, I see that blank a lot. Be sure and fill all this in. The listing broker information is on the MLS sheet. The other broker firm is going to be on the contract, or if it's the other broker. If we're not the other broker, then you're going to have all that information. Anyway, just check it and make sure that it's accurate, okay, and it's completely filled in. I see listing broker firm, my name and my license number. I see DFW preferred and my license number. It's just check everything for accuracy. Don't be lazy, okay? And get that done. Now, if intermediary, if Keller Williams DFW preferred is the listing broker firm, and maybe you as the buyer's agent sold one of our agent's listings. Okay, so we're seller and buyer's intermediary because the listing broker is representing both parties, right? So the listing associate information would go right there. Okay, associate's name, email address, license number, all of that stuff. And then down here would be the buyer's, the selling associate's name, who represented the buyer in the firm. If you represented the buyer and say Jane Smith represented the seller, there's Jane's information, there's Maria as our license supervisor, and then the selling associate's name, that would be you. And then you fill in your information. Okay, that's when you would use only this side, is if our office was the listing broker firm and we represented the buyer. Nothing would be over here because there's no other broker, right? Okay. Now, listing broker has agreed to pay other broker. If it's intermediary, you don't put anything there, okay? Because there is no other broker. Make sense? Okay. Page 10. Here's the receipt page. If you represent the buyer, make sure you deliver the option fee within 3 calendar days, no exceptions to the listing agent or the seller. These are the only two people, the listing agent or the seller, or the listing broker or listing agent are the only two people that can sign for that. Now, if someone if we're the listing brokerage, and someone brings an option fee to the front desk, and our front desk person is authorized by me, the listing broker, designated broker, to sign for me. So sometimes you'll see Devin or Liz Rourke, okay, and that's okay. If you take it to the office, they may have a designated person that can sign for the listing broker, just as we do. Other than that, you don't take it to the title company. You don't give it to anybody else unless you give it to the seller. Got it? Don't put it in the mailbox. You can't prove delivery. Don't put it in the mail. I mean, just you got to make it as happen, or you got to protect your buyer, or they won't have an option period where they have the unrestricted right to terminate the contract if you deliver it late. Okay. And also, I see some that are receipted electronically. If you receipt it electronically, make sure it's within those 3 days. If they want to receipt it later electronically and there's a later date, get them to put the date that they received it over here. Does that make sense? Like I've seen, $200 in the form of a personal check. Jane Smith, the listing agent, electronically signed it on 7/15, but she actually got the check on 7/13. Okay, well, 7/15 may be outside those 3 days. So anyway, don't leave anything to be questioned later on, just in case. Remember, all this could be evidence. We have to go to court. So make sure you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's, okay? And then the earnest money, two different receipts. Sometimes the contract shows up in an email the day of execution or maybe the next day. And so they can receive the contract. And then the earnest money is delivered a day or two later or wired or something. So that's why there's separate earnest money receipt and a contract receipt, because sometimes those are received separately. And then if there's any additional earnest money to be. All right. Thank you. And that is page 9 and 10.